Okay, our next item this evening is under other matters. We have no applications this evening. So Jim, am I correct in understanding that you're going to present to us what Hanover's plans are for the BJ's development?
Yeah, I wanted to give the board a brief overview, and this comes about from discussions we've had, probably over the course of a year in regard to development that's occurring in Hanover. The first development, that advanced was the ShopRite. I think everyone's familiar with that. As part of that development, the intersection of Horse Hill, Martin Luther King, and Hanover Avenue was improved to eliminate the split phase. And then the more recent development that we see moving forward is the development of the property at the corner of Ridgedale Avenue in Hanover. There's a quick check with like a mini mart going in at the corner, and there's a pad for a restaurant, and then my understanding is that TJ Maxx Home Goods is going in the back end of that site, and then I think there's also an auto zone, and there may be another pad. I'm not sure if that's been determined what's going to go in on that other pad, but as part of that, the county had the Ridgedale Avenue intersection improved. There was a split phase there as well, but they added the left turn lanes on Hanover Avenue, so some good improvements going in as part of that development.
The split phase, you're talking about the signaling, right? Traffic signal?
Yeah, you may recall that MLK had the same situation, that on Hanover Avenue, it wasn't through when the light was green. You'd go eastbound, would go through to allow people to make a left turn lane, and you wouldn't stack up there. I think they had accidents where people may have been sitting there, and there wasn't enough room until the developments came through to add the left turn lane in each direction. So you get a green movement if you're going east or westbound on Hanover Avenue to make the left turns, and then the whole intersection goes green, and you can put a lot more traffic through those intersections. If anyone went through there during rush hour, you saw how much that stacked up. So with the when you have to split that, it's called split phase. So that was eliminated by the addition of the left turn lane at both those intersections. So it's helped move traffic through those areas. And there is still a bottleneck at either end that needs to be addressed when you get up to 24 and down towards Mars Plains at Eagle Avenue. But the board had requested that if there was other development that was moving forward, to get an overview of the area. And I requested the site plan, and I'll give a brief overview on that for the next development that was just recently approved in that area. So a BJ's wholesale center, just to kind of orientate the board, on the left edge of the sheet is Hanover Avenue, and the proposed intersection is the entrance to the Menin Arena or the ice skating rink. So a new signal is proposed at that location to handle the volume of traffic on the site. And I think this, was that the Airtron site? I want to say that, years ago there was some contamination issues. They're apparently being resolved. I'm not familiar with the specifics on that, but a BJ's wholesale center was approved at the site. There is gasoline pumps in the rear of the site that's proposed as part of it, and then there's also some retail space out front. But the big box is the BJ's, and there's also some architecturals. Nothing fancy, but I wanted the board just to see that stuff. And I guess I'll pass this board around just so you can take a closer look at it. I don't know if there's specific questions the board has, and if I can answer them. But I mean, the biggest issue is, or concern I think, is traffic in that new intersection, and I think it made sense to align it with the facility located across the street. So. At some point in the future, we're going to be talking about the redevelopment of the Colgate site. So this is relevant, because it's pretty close to across the street. So wanted to bring the board up to speed on that, just so you know what's going on the other side of the road, and if there's other stuff that comes up in the future, we would, I'll get copies of site plans and bring them forward to the board, just so we have an idea as to what's going on. There's a lot of development going on in that corridor.
So what's the status of this now? Has it been approved yet?
My understanding is it was approved, within the last month. I think it's been before the board, for some time, but I heard recently that it was approved. I didn't.
It was in the paper that the planning board approved it.
Okay.
Board members, any questions about that for Jim?
Well, I guess the only thing I wonder all the time is how people are gonna get in and out of the quick check. They want gas, there are probably 8 islands for gasoline that, and people going by, you've all seen it. And I don't know how they're gonna get in and out of there, even with these improvements.
Yeah, I mean, the site's been designed, traffic engineers were involved, the county's heavily involved because it's their roadway. And
Not just designed, it's built.
not quite opened yet, but getting close. The real benefit, I think, is the improvements that, occurred to that intersection.
Now, when we add traffic to Hanover Avenue, when we redevelop, are we gonna have issues with council?
So I think that's something that we're going to take a look at. I mean, we were going to hire Gordon Meth, or we've hired Gordon Meth to look at those traffic issues. You're talking about specific to like the Colgate site?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have to look at what traffic was there, under its use. I think they had 24-hour shifts going on there, a lot of truck traffic. So, part of what we would do is look at the comparison of the traffic. I mean, it's similar to the redevelopment of the Honeywell site. I think the board took that into serious consideration, and the redevelopment of that property helped offset some of the traffic to reduce the peaks for the commercial property by adding the residential. It kind of put the movements in the other direction, and it helped improve some of the problems at intersections in that area. So we'll definitely be looking at the an answer to your question, the traffic issue as to what was there and what potentially could come out of that.
Hopefully, we'll be able to ameliorate that situation at 3/10 of a mile, where West Hanover goes from 4 to 2 to 4.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a critical thing, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, and the state is aware of the issues at the other end down at Whitney Road. That I think there's really a second lane required to get traffic, onto 24. I mean, 24 is probably beyond its capacity, but it stacks up at that intersection. And a few years back there were some issues, and we talked, with the county and state. We made some adjustments to the timing on that, but I mean, just for the volume of traffic, it needs another lane on the entry ramp.
Okay. The next item.